presenting some BlueInvest success stories. And so if I may call to the stage our first company, 13 Mary from Bulgaria. We've got Mark Fortnum, who is the part of the founding team, the executive team of 13 Mary, and they do innovative drag reduction solutions for improved fuel efficiency and cleaner water. So Mark, over to you.
Good morning. Thank you to all concerned for the opportunity to visit this wonderful city for the first time, to listen and to learn and to engage with you. So my name is Mark Fortnum. I am the non-executive director of 13 Mary. I've been with the company for about 10 months, initially as a board advisor and now as an NED. So what is 13 Mary? 13 Mary is an innovative solution to help reduce fuel consumption at sea, and we believe there are multiple verticals beyond maritime that we will look to exploit for your interest as investors. We think there's considerable verticals beyond maritime, but initially we're concentrating on maritime. As you can tell, I'm not Bulgarian. I'm here representing Filipov, who is the founder and CEO, who is currently in Odessa Sports, working between Bluana and Odessa as we fit this solution for the first time on a small vessel. So there is the team. You can see Krasi is the founder and CEO, and numerous other people, including myself. I'm a long-standing maritime professional on the marine side. We have naval architects, we have marine engineers, we have sales and marketing, we have business advisors to your company and I in terms of specialist skills. We also have ESG experts, sales and marketing, and recently a technical team for installation of the products as we reach the first installation points. And we're increasing the team and the expertise as we start to get to the scaling points. So what is the opportunity? With 90% of the global trade being carried by sea, there are many tens of thousands of ships, of course. Now, with the operating expense of ships, 40 to 65%, depending on class of vessel, is down to fuel costs. And so a small percentage saving of fuel, currently for heavy fuel oil, the price is $750 per tonne, a small percentage saving offers considerable commercial value as well as environmental benefits. So that's the opportunity. Now, in terms of the challenge, the International Maritime Organization, through regulation, has set the maritime industry some significant challenges, some would argue not strong enough. But nevertheless, we as an industry are being challenged to cut greenhouse gas emissions by 40% versus the 2008 numbers by 2030, and by 50% by 2050. So a significant challenge and a significant opportunity. This also plays into the presiding principles, which are a set of banking and investment principles, which is designed to encourage more access from the financial institutions to greener shipping. And what is an element, a 13 Mary element? Now, the graphic there is designed to illustrate real-life testing. And what you have there is an element which is about 1.25 metres long, by about 60 centimetres wide, by about 25 centimetres deep, attached, in that case, to the side of the ship. Let me just show you again. And what you're seeing there is as the water flow passes the elements, there is an increase of about 10% faster water flow, which reduces the drag behind the element by about 20%. Now that's just a single element. If you attach about 15 to 18 of those onto a size of a vessel of about 200 metres, which we will be doing in April, we've measured a 3% to 7% fuel saving, which is significant in terms of cost, and also significant in terms of environmental benefits. Now, the opportunity, of course, of making a benefit to the environment, but also to make some commercial value, has attracted lots of different solutions. That 13 Maori solution is highlighted in green. There are lots of other very good solutions out there. Clean hulls, different hull paintings, hull scrubs. We have air lubrication systems, which I know very well is another effective solution. We've even seen the return of sailing vessels over the last couple of years to help increase the efficiency of vessels and reduce fuel. Now, two significant benefits of 13 Maori: it's relatively inexpensive, it's quick to install, that's one major advantage, and the second advantage is it's usable with most of these other solutions, so that there's an opportunity for shipping companies to gross up the savings in fuel consumption. Now, we've got a strong customer pipeline. There's some companies there that we can name and others that we're working with under non-disclosure agreements that we can't. There are another couple of companies that we started to work with most recently, one of which is destined to have the first element fitted, or set of elements fitted, in April 2024, so we're very close to the first full-size fitment. But the customer pipeline is in excess of 700 vessels, and if all of those 700 vessels were to fit 13 Maori solution, there is a potential size of the prize of in excess of $200 million. Now, our ask, particularly looking around the corner here, is wonderful investors. We have actually finished the seed round. We're expected to finish on that very, very soon. We also have some investment from a prize, an industry innovation prize, and also from the state of New Jersey, where our founder is currently located. But we are looking towards Series A in 2024, and between $1 million and $3 million, depending on how the current conversations are progressing with potential investors at the moment. So in summary, there is a real challenge out there, a genuine opportunity. 13 Maori has some significant advantages over other energy-saving devices in maritime. It's got scalability. Shipping is our priority segment initially, but we do believe there are other sectors that we can exploit and other verticals that we can get after once we've got established in maritime. The first vessel is due for fitment in 2024. We're looking for between 1 and 2 million mid-2024 from an investor's perspective, the Series A. And the timing is also very exciting for us because of the extension of the European Union emissions trading scheme. And there is also potential for further monetisation of this product as we look at the voluntary carbon markets as well. And that's it for me. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to Q&A afterwards. Thank you.
Any questions from you or the investors in the room?
For me.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Thank you. Great presentation, by the way. Just a quick question. I'm sure that I think a lot of people might have right now. Considering that humans have been sailing for thousands of years and the shipping industry is a pretty big industry, I'm just curious, how come nobody did water flow and drag testing, considering that airplanes and even cars have been excessively tested for drag and air resistance, but how come nobody thought about that in the shipping industry, which is I think hundreds of billions of dollars?
It's a very good question. I don't know the answer as to why nobody's thought of it before. Are you familiar with the shape of ships' hulls?
Relatively, yes.
And a bulbous bow at the front. Have you seen this round bow? Now that was a relatively recent development in the shape of shipping hulls. And I think going back many years to the earliest of steel constructed vessels, it was thought that slimline, very narrow protrusions and cut through the water was the right way to go. And somebody thought about putting this big round bulb on the front. Unexpectedly, that's led to efficiency savings. So again, it's just another way to look at this. Karasi, the founder, tells his favourite story as to how he thought of this idea. And he's a wind surfer. And so looking at the seabed and the natural flow of the water over the seabed, so there are natural ridges that the water creates, and that's where he initially thought of the idea. We've also likened this to those of you who play golf, the dimples on the ball. Again, somebody has thought of placing connotations on the shape of the ball, which has led to golf balls going further. So again, it's another progression that somebody's thought of recently.
Can you protect this IP in any way?
So we're talking to patent lawyers right now. So we've got three patents pending, but talking to a lawyer as to what we can actually do. We don't believe we can protect protrusions on a hull, but we can protect a particular shape. We've also got technology, so the location of these things is absolutely crucial as well. So if you place things in the wrong location, you can increase drag and increase fuel consumption. So it's the technology which is particularly important to the product.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Great. So everyone, yes, it's just big could we call up to the stage Peter? Peter Popov for Aqualid. Oh, sorry, he's a Dimitar. Yes, Dimitar. Yes, thank you. Co-founder and CTO of Aqualid, to present their company. Wait, sorry, we have the clicker. Wait, let's see this message.
So hello, my name is Dimitar Filipov. I'm a co-founder and I'm mostly doing R&D in Aqualid since more than 5 years already. Before starting with the presentation, I would like to say that during the last 3 years we have made more than 65 presentations like this in front of the various audiences, like investors, like potential customers, project managers, not only in Bulgaria. And what we found actually is that most of the people don't really, realize what is the problem with microplastics. So we designed this special, rather strong slide as a beginning, just because, as a matter of fact, the bright side should be always stronger than the dark one. So our statement is that actually, as of today, nobody can really measure properly microplastic contamination, concentration in our open water, in our water infrastructure, in different kind of water environments in general. And actually, when it started, the problem with microplastics, it was, let's say, some 20 years ago, people started to look at some different things like fishes in a can, like water in the bottles, like water in the tap, and they actually found that there is microplastics everywhere. And during the last 5-10 years, they really found that microplastics are really on every place on Earth. They are in human bodies, and last year there were few publications in medical journals. Researchers found that there is microplastics in newborn babies. Microplastics, actually, nanoplastics. And this started this kind of hype, and people started to make this kind of scary images. Okay, we eat 1 credit card per week, and really it's a lot. I mean, if you try to eat 1 credit card per week, you will not be happy. I'm absolutely sure of this. And a lot of researchers were focused on what kind of different microplastics are mostly in the water, because the water environment is a very specific one, because you cannot remove microplastics in the water. Actually, it's really the most dangerous environment where you can find microplastics. So what we for sure know now, as of today, is that there are microplastics in every single place in the world, in every environment, and that's for sure, it is true. But where is the problem? And the problem is that we actually don't know how much, how many, what kind of these microplastics are located in different places. There are just few statements of a strong and very good professionals. The first one is from Doctor in the United States. The part of the problem is that even I would say high professional researchers in the medical sector, they really don't know how hard it's for humans, or not only for the humans. And this is a statement that clearly says we actually don't know, and we hope we can make plastics safer. And the other example is a rather fresh research paper for a very good research team in Denmark. And they used, just to explain, they used one and the same sample and measured this sample with two different methods. And they found 332 times difference between two results. So it's not, I mean, if you eat one credit card per week, it's okay. Probably 200 credit cards, it's a lot. So we really don't know how much, how many, what kind of different microplastics are in the, especially in the water. And this is why. This is the current approach to measure microplastics in, especially in water environment. So it's composed of series of different actions. First one, you go to the place you want to measure, you take samples, then you transport these samples, then you go to a lab, you make a lot of different manipulations on these samples depending on what kind of method you choose to work with. Then you go to another lab, and then you measure both for the size. First you need to decide what is the microplastic probably or what not. Then you measure the size, and then you measure the substance. You need to identify the substance. And recently there are some analytical devices that can do both, but still it's a very expensive approach. The devices are expensive, and I'm not really, I show already it's using two different devices like this. You can measure 300 times difference in measuring one and the same thing. So in general, the problem also is that you need a lot of time to implement this kind of measurement. Depending on the scope of a campaign, it could take days, weeks, months, and even years. One of the most well-done research for a measurement of microplastic concentration in the Atlantic Ocean, from the actual act of sample collecting up to the final publication of the results, it took them 4 years. So it's not a good value to know what was in the Atlantic Ocean 4 years ago at the end of the day. So we need something that can measure fast, that can scale, that we know how precisely and how accurate we actually measure. We need to make this reproducible, and it should be affordable. The problem also is that this kind of approach, you cannot measure a lot of volume. I mean, you can measure, let's say, up to 10, 20, 50 liters, but that's it. It's not realistic to measure 1 cubic meter of water, for example. It will take really months even to play with this. For example, in Black Sea had 500,000 cubic kilometers of water. And if you want to know really if there are microplastics in the Black Sea, you cannot measure just 20 liters of water. You need to measure in a big volume. So we realized this a few years ago, actually 4 years ago. And the problem is that all the current methodologies deal with general purpose methods of analyzing, not designed specifically for this problem, for this contamination and for this environment. So we designed something, a method and device that you can measure on place, in real time. You can measure big volumes. I'm talking about few cubic meters per hour, depending on the scope of the measurement content. it's reproducible, it's only fixed to the instrumental uncertainties of the device, and it can measure not only microplastics and identify them, it also can measure a lot of water quality parameters, actually virtually all that can be measured with optical methods today. And this is pretty much affordable to our understanding. So, where are the money? So, this a good question. As a matter of fact, today nobody knows how much money goes to measuring microplastics because there is no device that can measure microplastic. You track the cells of this device, and there are very specific niche for microplastic analysis in specific laboratories, and it's not even one single place you can go in order to measure this. So, however, the European Commission, and not only in Europe, there are already implemented regulations in the United States, for example, in the state of California. But this approach, this movement to proper and to strong regulation in Europe will create a market for at least 1 billion per year. It's only based on the intention of Europe regulations to put requirements in every single possible step on a water flow path for water utility sectors. It's only for a water utility. So you need to measure at least few times per month. You need to measure for every single point on these places. And it will create a market opportunity for people who can measure microplastics in water. And also for us as a company that we have a method, we have a device that can do this in a affordable way.
I'm going to have to ask you to try to wrap up, but maybe
Okay,
could you tell us, next
Okay, our
stage?
current project, so we have a step now in a real, I would say, in a real business. It's not just we have signed a memorandum for a project in a major water utility company in Bulgaria to measure at these points. We are starting this month, and it's not only for measuring microplastic, but also for measuring water quality parameters. And finally, who we are. Our company was established in 2018. We won several grants, and also want to mention here, I don't know what this, but we have a patented method. The method, the device concepts, because we have two device concepts, they are already under protection of the patent laws. We spend a lot of time on this, and I hope it's really helpful for future development in this approach. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a really compelling story of microplastics because that is really the challenge at the moment. And I want to make time just at least for a question. I don't know if there's, yes, would you like to ask a question, and then if you could answer quickly. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Very, very nice presentation. Can you elaborate a little bit on if this is like an in situ analyzer instrument, or is it more like a benchtop?
No, it's in situ.
In situ. Yeah.
This is our laboratory, I would say, simulated environment. We use this tool to show to the potential customers, but this whole thing should be packaged in a device, and depending on a particular environment and scope, it can be used in a water utility operator, or in an open sea, in an ocean, in the sea. We have two different concepts of how to laser sources, depending on this. So this is in situ method. So we go on place, you measure real time.
Do you also conduct some sort of in situ filtering or
Yeah,
separation
there is
of microparticles?
filtering because there is not not a regulation, but according to the microplastics are plastics with the size between 1 micron and 5 millimeters. So a water feeder sub-device is connected depending on the environment you go, which filters anything above this. So the method is a little bit, we need to work a lot in order to improve accuracy and precision for the lower sizes. But from a physics point of view, we are not limited to this up to 10 micrometers, which is okay. So sizing the device properly, we can go and measure microplastic with size of 10 microns.
Okay, I think you can continue the conversation,
Oh, yeah.
but thank you so much, Dimitar. Thank you. So, if we could call Florin onto the stage, and it's good to see Bluana Foods again. They were at the last BlueInvest day, and we want to know what you're doing with the business now, Florin. Please go ahead.
Thank you. I'm Florin from Bluana. We are delivering an ocean of good taste. We love fish a lot. I mean, what is not to love? It's tasty, it's healthy, it's loaded with vitamins, with minerals, with omega, but we like it so much that actually we need 2.4 planets to satisfy our crave. And in this rhythm, we will finish it. I mean, the sushi species like in 10 years. 10 years and no more fish. Of course, this is only leading to problems. We know already that the fishing industry is kind of inefficient. We also know about the microplastic, which mostly comes from the fish net. And everything is driving the price up. We witnessed a 75 euro per kilo for the sashimi grade fish in Poland last year, which is unheard price before. So the planet looked for solutions, and it appeared an alternative to the fish, which was the plant-based one, the first generation. 80% of the people actually didn't like it, the first generation, mostly because of the taste, convenience, price, nutrition, but taste is the most important one. And one of the culprits is actually they use in the first generation early purpose technology from the meat industry. And here it's coming Bluana, which through a molecular gastronomical approach, starting with the bouillon made from seaweed, we are building a product which is nutritional dense. It's a unique position in addressing B2C and B2B, and we are also developing the proprietary technology. So yes, plant-based works only if it's better. And we think that our fish is better. That's why 8 from 10 people in more than 2,500 tests say they will buy again our product. It's low calories, high nutritional densities. We are talking about micronutrients, and it's less expensive than the fish sashimi. But the real value proposition is that through our technology, we are making the sushi shelf stable for 12 months. We made a lot of testing with the product, we improved a lot, and we have a pretty good mass media reaction. And you can see here the Business Insider Spain consider our sushi the most captivating product at F-Talks in Valencia 1 month ago. We started last year, and we passed through several accelerators and programs. We managed to raise a pre-seed investment, and we are also in some other programs coming. We are in a Horizon consortium with Lemon from Bulgaria, which is producing a biodegradable plastic. We have behind of our product a teams that it's made by food innovators and entrepreneurs. We are having 4 successful exits under all belt, and Marco, the patent master, is having 8 patents granted before. So our technology is protected in terms of process and industrial equipment, but we are also having trade secrets from our molecular gastronomy. It's called high moisture, high nutrients injection technology. We have a provisional PCT patent, and yes, we are going with a molecular technology to obtain the shelf stability. The next step for us is to build a pilot plant and to start the pilot production. And for that reason, we are raising a seed round. We have amazing unit economics. Our product being very high enriched. We have a blended margin of 90% reported to the COGS. And going to market, we are targeting the flexitarians. First, starting with sushi restaurants, chains, in our part of Europe, then expanding to the rest of Europe, and 2025 going to international retail with the CBG product. Already we have interest from major players, fish distributors or retailers. And what we are doing, it's impacting in good the planet. We are having here at least 3 SDG, but we are less than 6. So when we are letting 100 of tons of tuna just swim into the sea, and we are replacing with our fish, it's like planting 2.4 million trees. This is the carbon. So thank you. Florin from Bluana.
Questions for Florin? Thank you. To really give, yes, please go ahead.
So basically, this is our product here. I have some samples, but maybe in the
Taste it. Yeah, I encourage you to taste it. It's quite good. I had it at my house, and I didn't tell my wife it's plant-based. So I told them after we ate, and so yeah, it's quite similar. My question is, if you can elaborate a bit on the go-to-market approach, or how you plan to do whatever geographically, but also B2B, B2C. How do you plan to tackle that?
Yes, I'm coming from the food industry, and well, selling food takes a lot of talent. Actually, with my previous company, I won a lot of gastronomical awards. I pretty know what is about to sell food, and going to retail directly can backfire. That's why we are addressing first a B2B approach, making fish for the sushi chains. Pokeball chains. We are having discussion ongoing. We are having a discussion with the biggest sushi chain in Switzerland, and also here in Romania. So this is the first market we are addressing, the B2B, making fish for the sushi. And in parallel, we build a channel. We are in a program called Amazon Launchpad, and we are listed in 12 European countries. Actually, I'm having here some appendixes, and on the long term, actually, the D2C will be a bigger market than the retail. In some point, we are going to retail when we're ready for the retail, and we are building the brand. But the D2C, direct to consumer, because our product is shelf stable, it's in the long run the winner one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Florin. So could we call up Andrei from Seadora to present? Seadora is a fish booking platform that is blockchain powered. And then I just wanted to also call out to the Black Sea accelerators. So the companies that you see today also come from them. And Seadora is actually a Ukrainian company, so very happy to have you with us. Yes,
Which,
talk to us
which one I have to press?
Press next. Let's see, next. There you go.
Yeah, so good day everyone. I'll just switch on.
People buy
The
fish
video
in their
again.
supermarkets. The supermarkets buy from some dudes. Those dudes buy from other dudes. And this carousel of fish selling dudes goes on and on. That fish definitely travels way more than you. Usually it spends up to 14 days on the road, being stuck in boxes and fridges. And when it finally arrives, almost half of it is just thrown away. You know why? Those fish selling dudes bring more fish than they can actually sell. Sons of a fish. We love fish, and we don't want it to turn into garbage. That's why we don't make fish travel to you for days. This is how Seadora works. To organize everything, we work only with the serious, reliable partners. Like this guy, not this. The skinny mermaid works hard to find the best fishermen all over the world. So now you, your boss, and your grandma can order the freshest fish directly from French or Dutch fishermen. We'll fly it in only 3 days. And here comes the most awesome thing. You also save the world. Because we go fishing only after you place the order and catch exactly as much as you order. Not a single tuna more. We do more, only in terms of design. Tops, caps, clothes. And more. But no more words. Both your fish.
Yeah, so I mean the seafood industry. Yeah, so I just give a little bit of helicopter view. Yeah, what it is. Yeah, because we don't really think about how really huge it is. Yeah, and it's not one of the largest, but it's the largest in the world. Yeah, like direct and indirect businesses associated with it employ like over 1 trillion in revenues, and it gives over 200 million jobs. Yeah, so if you think it's like every 10th or every 9th of people. Yeah, so one of your 10 friends should be in seafood. Yeah, that, I mean, actually we are all in seafood mostly, yeah, but I mean that's the number. It's really huge, and I mean that's the point that fish travels really a lot. Yeah, and changes 3 to 4 to 5 warehouses before it arrives to supermarket, yeah, to retail. And when it happens, everybody wants to go like for higher margins to go in fresh. Yeah, so I mean frozen is easier to handle, but fresh is often gives better margins. Yeah, so before it happens, before it goes like the whole process from fishermen to processors to auctions, wholesalers, retailers. Yeah, so we got a problem, yeah, at the end of the process, yeah. So, and the numbers are really frightening, yeah. So it's 50% of fish we capture out of ocean is wasted. Yeah, on various steps of the process, the fishermen and supply chain, retailers, consumers as well. Yeah, we see different pictures from Asian countries and West, yeah, where Asian don't throw away on the consumer level, more in supply chain, but in the Western US is completely different, less in supply chain, but then we throw ourselves as consumers a lot from the fridge. We go hungry to supermarkets, buy the fish over there, come back, eat the chips on the way, and then not hungry anymore, and then the next day we throw the fish out of the fridge. Another problem is and it's like number from The Guardian, it's the media from the UK, and what they do, they send their people all over the world every year to different cities. They have the digital map, Seoul, Tokyo, Dubai, New York, everything, everywhere. Yeah. So what they send their stuff there, and those people go, they buy fish in supermarkets, in markets, restaurants, and later on they do the DNA testing, yeah, to see whether this corresponds what they have bought and actually what was inside. Yeah. So again, another frightening number. So 46% is mislabeled. Yeah. So I mean, we are buying something else that we actually get at the end of the day. So, like, to overcome it, we decided, to cut away and actually like communicate directly to fishermen, because only they know
the story of the fish they are catching, yeah. And on the other side, we communicate to consumers, yeah, that want to get this quality product, and they want to be sure that they are buying exactly the thing that they have paid for. They want to be sure in the quality, they want to be sure in nutrition, in everything. Yeah. So we play here like a middleman role. We collect on one side the orders, and on this other side we build the fisherman network we work directly with, yeah, and then we put these two and two together and bring fish directly from the ocean to your doors. And nowadays, yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of data everywhere, yeah, so everybody wants data. And like, again, the seafood industry and then like the fisherman profession is like the oldest profession for millions of years already. And still, like in most of the world, you know, it's like paper and pencil business processes everywhere. So I mean, we have this like a little bit of structure in the Northern Europe, a little bit UK, Iceland, yeah, but that's the rest part of the world is paper and pencil. Yeah. So we introduced also the data. Yeah. So we have the QR code that travels from the very beginning with the fish, yeah, and then a customer can get actually the fish story, yeah, so where it was caught, by whom, when, what temperature it was delivered with, yeah, we also implement the temperature controllers, testing the temperature controllers that travel from Iceland together with the catch, yeah, and confirms that the cold chain was there. I mean, the way we do it, of course, I mean, we would not bring like 2 fishes, 3 fishes to like some people, yeah, so we built the community first, yeah, so we say in a certain area, so we had our 2 operational years in Kiev, and I show you later what we managed to achieve. So in a certain area, we say that we build the seafood lovers community, yeah, and then we bring members in there. So, and then we announced that we're going to have the catch coming from Iceland, or coming from Netherlands, or coming from France, and we say that this catch arrives on Thursday, would you like to sign for it? Yeah, so people sign up front and pay up front, so we know exactly what we have ordered here, so we actually already know the exact number of kilos of every species, yeah, and then with that we contact our fishermen community, you know, and get exactly what we need there. So we don't have warehouse, we bring fish in, we have the pick and pack facility, where we actually put the orders together, put the stickers and send it with the last mile vehicles to consumers, yeah, and it's another story also with the vehicles, yeah, because like if you imagine, for example, a small neighborhood community of, I don't know, whatever, 5,000 households, yeah. So in order to go and buy the fish, they would travel 2 supermarkets, and that 5,000 times multiplied by 10,000 times. Again, fuel, energy, you know, consumed with this. So our last mile vehicles delivers like up to 100 orders per day. Yeah, so it saves like 20 less times fuel with this way of delivery. And fish here, because you might ask, and what about it? Because there are so many delivery apps, yeah, from supermarkets, from like everything, grocery, whatever. Yeah, so 10 minutes they are at your home sometimes, yeah, but like in terms of fish, it's always need to have the separate story. You cannot deliver meat and fresh fish, or like meat, fresh fish with anything doesn't work. Also, production facilities have to be separate. So this is always separate, and like that's why we're saying that our vehicles deliver only fish. Yeah, there's only fish vertical, no meat, no groceries, no nothing. This is the slide from like our next steps. I'm going to tell later also, but this is where the fish is coming from. We are targeting now the Alpina region, the southern Germany, and like the Munich, Zurich, Vienna, yeah, where we have the best KPIs for our product. So the product acceptance in those areas is 78% people want to order. Yeah, so. And for those areas, we target the 2 seas, like one on the North Sea, and the other one lower Mediterranean, to have species from there. in Kiev, in Ukraine, we also tested the Atlantics, the Greek, the Black Sea, Odessa, and also Spanish, French fishermen. Yeah, so we have the clear picture of what's going on in terms of sourcing from different locations. So that's how we started. Our start was equal with the COVID, times. Yeah, so we actually, for that reason, we had to concentrate only on D2C. Yeah, so no businesses yet. But in those short windows when restaurants were like allowed to open their doors, we immediately got calls from restaurants, can you deliver to us? Yeah, so we also have delivery to businesses, which is good. But in terms of customers, we bring over actually this is the oldest, over 80,000 orders we brought to our customers, and we have a very good retention rate, over 60%, which is for food is very good. And 25% of our, so every fourth of our customer base is like a very loyal customer that buys like every 1.5 weeks. And in terms of revenues, I mean, we reached our second year, we reached 1.4 million euro. And if you think like total Ukrainian market for imports is like 600 million. Out of that, 10% only is fresh, yeah, so 60 million is fresh. Yeah, so, and then this number, which is like 1.4 million, pretty small number, but then if you think of it, it's like out of 60 million, which is the niche for fresh fish market, and 1.4 million is like 2% from the total country market.
I have to ask you to start wrapping.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, this I have covered. We are now, I mean, due to obvious reasons, I mean, we closed everything in Kiev, and we are now looking to relaunch in Alpina region, as I said, and for that we are raising now $500,000, yeah, that would allow us to set the warehouse, then work a little bit on the product, because we learned so much during these 2 years in Kiev. Yeah, that what we want now to implement into the product, and launch. Yeah, to launch, to have validation of the model in European Union, in the region. Yeah, so that's how we do. Thank you very much.
Thank you. A bit of a logistical point, because the building has just reminded us that the catering people have to also set up. So we do have a coffee break, and I want to make sure that you're all watered and refreshed a bit. Could I suggest, because we still have Roger and you need to hear from Trésoil, so do you mind if we take a quick break right now? And then could I ask everyone to come back into the room in 12 minutes, because then the catering will start clearing up the break, and then we still have a very interesting presentation. I want to take questions for Andrei as well, because I want to make sure that if you wanted to hear from him that you can. So please go take a quick break, and then if we could be back by 11:20, and then we will hear the last presentation from Roger, and we'll also see BlueInvest in action. Thank you.
Trésoil, I'm trying to sort of solve, in a nutshell, two big problems: getting rid of unrecyclable plastic and turning it into a zero-emission fuel. Trésoil, my company, is a Romanian company. I'm actually Roger Preston. I've lived in Romania for 16 years, so I'm almost Romanian. But I'm an Australian and a French. I've got dual nationality. Okay. Oops. So in a nutshell, what I'm trying to do is put three relatively new sort of technologies, but they are actually commercially viable companies, and each one of them has been applied commercially. So technology number one And they're all sort of modular, integrated, distributed, scalable, replicable. Technology done is the waste to energy, which is on the picture here. The electricity we're going to produce from the waste plastic is actually going to drive all three technologies, and this will be monitored by digital twinning, which is artificial intelligence, and I'll explain a bit more later. So the technology number 2 and 3, we're going to put the plant, which is Trésoil Power 2X, waste to energy plant on the Danube. This is our solution. So from 50 tons of unrecyclable plastic, it will be fed into, that's about 2 truckloads, will be fed into the reactor, which the plastic is then shredded and then fed into the reactor 24 hours a day continuously, and it will immediately vaporize itself into a syngas. From that syngas, we make 3 products per day. We make 2 tons of hydrogen, 58 megawatt hours of electricity, and we also have a lot of spare heat because we work at about 1200 degrees centigrade. So this is for district heating or for industry processes. This is the technology 2 and 3. So from the electrolyzer, we will take the water from the Danube River and make hydrogen, oxygen, and ammonia. The Danube, from the Black Sea to the North Sea, where we're going to collect the plastic from what you see on that boat there, could carry 7,200 tons of plastic on 4 ton barges. The plastic will be given to us by waste operators who have no market value. There is no market value for this. It used to go abroad to China, to Vietnam and all that. That's now illegal. So we're going to collect this plastic and take it to the facilities on one of the ports on the Romanian side. But we're going to work both sides, the Danube, which is the border between Romania, Bulgaria, Romania, Serbia. We're going to take one little boat will take off 300 trucks off the European motorways, saving all the exhaust fumes and also the accidents that occur there. Next. Right, this is the market opportunity. We're a B2B and a B2G, business to government. The advantages, the benefits, is low cost electricity, low cost green hydrogen, low cost green ammonia, and we'll also sort of collect the EU ETS carbon credits. Our needs at the moment, we're at phase number 2 now. We received a small seed capital from Irimescu. Also received the Seal of Excellence certificate from the European Union, and we're trying to get now, we're on phase 2. We need up to 500,000 euros, which will be given in 5 tranches, hopefully. And each time that we meet all the milestones or the key KPIs, and that will then take us to sort of actually build the first demonstration plant, which will be commercial, and we can do this in phases. We can do the phase 1, the waste to energy first, and then add the adjoining electrolyzer. Our financial needs are for the feasibility study, for the licenses, for the permits, the environmental safety. That could take up to 15 months. And then we will raise money I've actually applied 2 proposals because I've got a lot of experience with European fundings, been working on it for at least 10 to 12 years. And I've got 2 proposals. One is with Horizon Europe for a grant of 2.5 million plus blended finance. I got through the first stage, this is a 2-stage program, and the other one is Eureka, and I'm waiting for the Romanian government to give me the okay. Brussels or Luxembourg have given me the okay, they like the project. This is our market opportunity. There are many for both green hydrogen and green ammonia, which we can make from a no-value plastic waste, which is enormous, the tonnage that is available. So it will be for transportation, fuel, fertilizer, the ammonia will be for green fertilizer, for steel production, for power generations, and also a lot of the food industry uses these. They're all transitioning away from fossil fuels into sort of green fuels. Our power to F is small scale, it's distributed, you know, it comes factory built, and then we integrate it with the sort of twinning software, and this will be for the logistics value chain, for better judgment, because we'll instantly get results, and it should, and also we're going to build our own, which hope we can sort of get IP sort of protection of that. And here in Romania we have a lot of good developers. Oops. Right, now this is the climate and health impact. These 2 slides tell you the story, you know. So there are nearly 500,000 European citizens have deaths from health-related, from air pollution. And then the plastic, the Danube discharges into the Black Sea enormous tons of plastic. There is something like 100 tributary rivers that a lot of the plastic ends up in the rivers and then ends up in the Dead Sea, in the Black Sea. So we're going to save the gate fees from sending to landfill. We're also going to save environmental taxes. We're going to get the tradable carbon credits, as well as being able to sell the 3 products that I mentioned. So it's hydrogen, ammonia, and electricity. The electricity, the waste to plastic electricity will then power all the 3 technologies. So we don't need to hook up to the grid, it stands alone. This is me on the ugly one, and that's my Bulgarian partner. We have 12 people involved in the Trésoil team: engineers, scientists, finance, administration, technicians, energy production specialists. So it's a way to kill 2 birds with 1 stone: plastic eradication and clean green fuels production. Local waste disposal for local energy needs. It's small scale, it's very small footprint, about half a hectare, and we're looking to sort of get going.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I don't know if anyone has any quick questions. Yeah, please.
Is there a, is this working?
I think,
No?
yeah.
Okay. Is there a facility like this anywhere in the world?
No. But all the 4 technologies are available as a means of integrating all 4.
Have you, do you know if the energy required for the conversion is lower than the energy you get as a result? That's my concern.
But from the plastic,
Yes, from the plastic conversion to the three products that you have, do you know if the energy required for this conversion is lower?
well, no, it's not. I mean, the plastic is a no-value product, you know. People will give it to you, and in some cases, like medical waste and all that, they will pay us to take it away and eradicate it. And if it gets sent to landfill for hundreds of years, you're going to get CO2 and methane. And
The energy required for the conversion.
the energy,
Yes.
well, from 50 tons, we get 2 tons of hydrogen and 58 megawatts hours. I've got all this data, I can give you all this, but it's a bit complicated.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, great. And were there any questions actually for Andrei? I don't know, I'm sorry because we kind of cut them. Yes, please, Lazar, go ahead.
Andrei, impressive presentation. That was great. A couple of quick questions. Where are the bottlenecks in your business model, and how do you pick the cities where you are expanding to?
Yeah, thank you. Is it working? Yeah, it's working. So, I mean, I lived in Ukraine, so I didn't have this problem to pick up the city, so I wanted to do this project in Kiev. That's what I did. Yeah, so this was my second company. I did the other company before in retail, yeah, so in flash sales. It had some interesting times, long time, like in 2013 we were making over $50 million and was 450 employees. But the processes, like lots of processes we took from there, yeah, because we did the same as with fashion stuff, yeah, so with brands, yeah, so we were building like fashion lovers communities and then bringing the products directly from brands, yeah, so here we do the same more or less with bringing fish directly to consumers, yeah, so utilizing then the pick and pack warehousing, yeah, so because the biggest problem is the waste, actually, and it comes from storing the fish from the warehouse. Yeah, since once we have the warehouse, we immediately have the problem. Yeah, because like demand is not always matching the supply. Yeah, and the more warehouses you have, the more waste you have. Yeah, so the waste is coming from warehouses actually. Yeah, so we don't have warehouse. Yeah, fish is coming and going. Yeah, so it's 1.5 hours to actually to put the QR codes, everything, it's gone. Yeah, so, but bottlenecks, well, it's, I mean, it's clear for us what to do, but again, you know, it's a bit of work, yeah, so it's a process, yeah. We spent like 2 years in Kiev, yeah, and like we tested millions of things, yeah, in marketing, in everything, yeah, so we know exactly what to do, yeah, there is nothing that we need to learn, yeah, so, I mean, but in Europe, of course, it will be different a little bit, yeah, because the behavior is different, people are different, the purchasing power is different, but it's good for us again, yeah, and then concerns in terms of health is much higher, concerns in terms of sustainability are actually much higher in Ukraine, yeah. What we did, like how we know how we pick up this Alpina region, yeah, we know exactly, yeah, because what we did when I had like 7,000 buyers in Kiev, and I got them mostly from Facebook, yeah. But also like also talking about the model like in the press, yeah. So like how it works, yeah. People were coming. So, but what we did, we took the kind of the shortcut of this audience of 7,000 buyers, and then built the look-alike audiences in many cities, in London, in Berlin, in Munich, in Vienna, in Zurich, in Dubai, in Miami, in Singapore, everywhere. So I know this data from like most of the like megapolises all over the world. Yeah? So what they think about Seadora product. Yeah? So what we were doing, we showed them exactly the same video as you saw. We saying, look, I mean that's what we do. Yeah. So and like that's the way we bring fish to you directly to your home, like from the fisherman like next day. And we are thinking about coming to your city. Would you be so kind, you know, please help us, yeah, to be more effective, like please answer us some questions, yeah? And then I asked them 15 questions, very detailed. Yeah? You need like to spend 15 minutes to answer those questions every year. Like how many family, how many members are you here? So how often do you eat fish, fresh or frozen? Like what kind of pieces? Yeah, do you cook at home or you go to the restaurant? In home, everything. Yeah, so very detailed. We have all this data from all these cities. Yeah, I know. It's not that we have to guess. Yeah, no, we know. And the best is Zurich. Yeah, so 78% people say. For the question, do you understand Seadora model? They say 78%. They say brilliant. I want to order already, and they leave the email to get contacted when we are there. Yeah, so it's. But yeah, if I answered the question.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Andrei. And I think you're very welcome as well to contact any of these 5 entrepreneurs, and their team members are also in the room. And you will have lunch as well to be able to speak to them. I just wanted to, please, let's extend a warm round of applause to our investors, especially the ones who joined us in the stage, because Anne has to go. But thank you so much for being with us today, and also for asking questions and giving feedback. This was a test session. We want to be able to introduce more companies to you. So please give a round of applause. And so we end